Hey everybody, this is going to be a fun little drive today. Right now I'm going to take you on a driving tour of the University of Central Florida, one of the nation's largest universities. We're driving up to the campus right now, and we're right now at the main strip. We're off University Boulevard. University Boulevard actually dead ends into the UCF campus, and we started from back at Rouse Road. You can tell you're getting close to university because you got the UCF flags up, and then best college of the U.S. News marketing stuff. So, and these are some of the restaurants that people frequent. You got Steak and Shake, you got Racetrack, you got the Wawa. So all around us, you can also feel the traffic picking up just a little bit in this area. So you got Foxtail Coffee. To the right is Four Rivers, the university's shop for a good barbecue, which was started back in Winter Park. You got a Starbucks to the left. You got a Doubletree Hotel. So for you parents out there looking for the place to stay while visiting the campus with your kids, you go to the left. Now this is a relatively new shopping plaza. It's probably open the last 10 years or so, 7 years maybe. It's got different shops in it on the bottom, and then it's got some student housing on the top half, and a McDonald's in the back corner. You got Bar Louie, GNC, Taco Bell, Cantina. So lots of good shops. You see a UCF bus to the right, a few of them. So, and this is about to enter campus. Now the road we're about to cross over is called Alafaya. Alafaya takes you all the way down towards past Waterford Lakes, heading south. But if you go north on Alafaya, you will leave Orange County, cross into Seminole County, hit Oviedo, and eventually does curve all the way around. And at some point, turns into 434 and picks up I-4 over in Longwood. So, very big interjection. And so right now we're just waiting for the red light so that we can cross over onto campus and you start seeing what our campus is like. Now, in case you weren't aware, UCF was established in June of 1963. When it started, it was not called UCF. So if you're out there and you're looking to be on a quiz and get something right, it was Florida Technical University is how it was started. It was originally started for the purpose of space exploration after the JFK speech in the space race. Now we are officially on UCF campus. So, coming to campus, right in front of us, we've got one of the main big parking garages. This one actually is one of the few parking garages on campus that actually have an elevator. So back to the space exploration. So with NASA really picking up speed, we became one of the space grant universities for the state. There's many universities within the state that have it, but we have the designation of lead programming for it. So, which is a good thing. Now, I mentioned earlier that we are one of the largest universities in the country. Well, just to put that a little bit of perspective, we jump between 1 and 2 all the time with, I believe it's Arizona State. It's either them or the Arizona, one of those two. And we have over 70,000 students enrolled. And that's at all our campuses, the main one, including the satellites, as well as online enrollment. So, all right, our light has turned green, so we're about to make a left. Now, UCF's main drive is basically a circle. Now, as we make a left, over here to the left, this is a relatively new opening, but we have, and you can kind of see the sign, the Celeste Hotel, which is a hotel that's right on campus for basically parents that want to stay there. It also helps for sporting events, athletes, recruiting, because that's a big thing right now. UCF's football program is actually jumping into the Big 12 starting officially July 1st. But we we will not be playing any more football games in the American Athletic Conference, as our football season is currently over. So to the right, we got the School of Performing Arts. We're about to move up to an area where there's some student housing too. Some of the dorms are back here to the right, some of the original dorms on campus. Now, the part that we're about to cross over into, this is called Greek Park. So this is where the sorority and fraternity houses are. On the right, we got Alpha Xi Delta. On the left, I see the Chi house. We got Kappa Kappa Gamma, Tridels, ATOs have a house here, Zeta Tau Alpha, plenty of sorority houses and stuff like that for social activities, for developing adults. So school literally just started back up not long ago. I see Pi Beta Phi. So we're gonna make a right here on the circle. Now right in front of us is what's called Lake Claire. So in this area, it's a little rec center, which we have the dorms to the right of us behind Greek Park, but it's got volleyball nets, pavilions, field sports go on here, people go canoeing in the lake. So it's a lot of activities for students in between the hustle and bustle of class life. So right over here to the right is the Lake Claire dorms. So some of the first ones on campus is Lake Claire. This is Garage H right here. As you can tell, school's back up. What that means is people are going to school. A lot of the college students go the first week to figure out what's going on, and then from there they might dwindle off a little bit as the semester goes on. In front of us, you have the addition arena. That's where our basketball games are played, and this is our academic village. It's got some more dorms, which these are specific for, they try to get the athletes mostly in here. Now, we're going to be making a little bit of a left up here. I'm going to take you through the sporting facility. On the right hand side, which you might not be able to see because of the sun, we have Memory Mall, which is directly in front of Additions Arena. Memory Mall is the area where you're going to have students tailgating during football games. It's a big open field that leads all the way to the Student Union, which we won't be able to drive through. But the Student Union is on the center of campus. So the arena faces in towards the center of campus, with the Memory Mall leading up to the Student Union. This was part of the plan that the SGA was kind of pushing for way back in the early 2000s. So now one of the cool things about this is when I pledged my business fraternity Alpha Kappa Psi as a pledge, we had to sit down and interview, at that time, the current president, Dr. Hitt. And Dr. Hitt laid out this vision for us. And this was back in 2004. And the vision that he laid out was how he was flying up to Tallahassee, and he was going to have a gentleman on there that was going to talk about how they could build an on-campus football stadium. And how he was picturing a place over here where our athletes could stay, where there'll be restaurants and shops and stuff for people to do during game days, and that it's basically build synergy off of each other and really help build up the athletic department for the University of Central Florida. Boy, has it ever. So you got Barnes Noble on the right, you got the arenas on the left, you got Jimmy John's. So you got a lot of good stuff going on over here. Burger U, which is the burger restaurant. You got Cypress Event. You also got Nitros, which is where the students can come and eat as well, like cafeteria style food. So you got a parking garage back here. On the right hand side, you got a little basketball court. You got a track area, like nice little drive. And, you know, it was super cool hearing Dr. Hitt talk about this. And then this is what it was. Now, it was even cool, the old arena they built on the backside of the new arena, and it's connected there for events. So, and this is, as you can see in the sign kind of in front of us, Kenneth G. Dixon Athletic Village. Now, as we drive around here, you could see the stadium for UCF. This sits about 48,000 fans. We call it the bounce house, and it legit bounces. There's the baseball field to the left of us. Got soccer. So, but yeah, this was it. And like I mentioned earlier, Big 12 football is going to be coming our way, so we're really excited about that. You can already see some of the logos of the Big 12 get put up because we are moving on. We're literally 6 months away from being official. Now, this road's going to take us back out like we were on our main one before, which was Gemini. That's the circle that goes around the middle of the campus. Now, we're coming out here. This is a side road that actually would take you out on the back side towards Chapman and turn to the Lockwood and the back side of Oviedo. So, we're back out onto here. There's another view of the stadium. So, UCF is very proud of that stadium. Now, as we continue this drive, back here is where you could go ahead and park on campus, or park for tailgating. There's a lot of tailgating fans that will be right there. So, that's a good thing. And then we're going to be coming up in this road actually dead ends into a parking garage that is used for a lot of parking. More traffic, and this traffic is going to be stemming from people trying to get on campus because, hey, guess what? It's time to go to class. Now you see a little bit more of the dorms that a lot of athletes stay on, and you got the Wayne Dench Sports Center, which is basically like the offices for the football team and everything like that. Now, lots and lots of traffic going left here, so we're gonna take a quick right, which will take us back towards the arena, and we'll probably take a little quick U-turn up here and give you a good shot of the Memory Mall. So back here again, so we're all the way back to the right where you see the arena area. Now, and this is where originally on the right was the Memory Mall. Now it's going to be on our left. We'll cut through the parking garage so you guys can get maybe a good little view of this. We'll see what we can find for y'all. Now, years ago, they used to do something called Light Up UCF, which is an event they put on in front of the arena. They haven't done it in a couple of years. It was one of those tragedies of, I believe, COVID, unfortunately. But it was a cool event. Ferris wheels, ice skating, so the whole 9 yards. You can go sledding, so lots of fun, lots of interactive within the community. UCF's very big into impacting the community and those around it. So, about to make a turn here, and when you see it, like we're going into, this is Garage D, and you'll kind of see the Memory Mall in front of us. See the wide open field. Lots of fun. You can even see like the little scooters back there. So So right now we are entering one of the parking garages, parking garage D. This is where I learned my method of sometimes to find a parking spot when you're getting ready for class. You pick up the student going to their car and you drive them to their car so that you can take their spot. So it worked a lot of the time. So to the right there's a flat lot, which is behind the Health and Public Administration building, HPA is what we like to call it. And then there's Garage C, which I was a business student. Garage C is what we call the business parking garage. It was one of the closest parking garages to the College of Business. So it made life easier for us. Up, and we're back here at the traffic jam. So now, if you're a student out there and you're trying to figure out more about UCF, of some of the pros and cons, being one of the largest universities in the country, obviously one of the biggest pros that you're going to encounter is going to be the traffic. And that's what we're experiencing right now, is traffic. School just started back up this week, and it's almost 9 a.m. So when you're picking your classes, you got to decide, you want to take the early morning classes, which a lot of freshmen and sophomore will because they're used to it from school in high school, or do you want to pick them later in the day to where you might have less traffic and less issues finding parking. So when I was a student, we would do a lot more classes in the evening because of that. So a lot more opportunity to not have to worry about finding parking or traffic. So just a thing to think of. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the first week is always like this. As the weeks go on, students start realizing they don't always have to go to class depending on what their teacher requirements are. So they might be doing a little more stuff at home or with their groups, or however the class is set up, versus going to school. So on the right hand side though is parking garage C. So again, this was the one that was the business. I always considered the business, and pretty much everyone I know that was doing business thought so too. And they just recently expanded it to make it even bigger, which is a good thing. So, but this is the parking garage D. They do have some, mostly for staff or special permit parking closer to the business building. So now, current president, just to give you a heads up, name is Alexander Cartwright. And back in 2019, UCF did open up a new satellite campus on downtown Orlando. So they're very excited about that. Oh, look at this line going into the parking garage. So now UCF was basically built probably on a swamp. To the left hand side you got the Arboretum, which is a lot of field. You can walk to it. There's actually even a walking path to certain neighborhoods that are on the back side of UCF that some students will rent out back there, and then they'll be able to walk or ride their bikes to class. So they get really excited about that because they don't have to drive on campus and deal with some of this traffic that we are currently experiencing. Now, as UCF was coming up, there was an area that was built recently, or not recently, but this is probably back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was called the Research Park. So there's lots of businesses in Research Park that you're in, and they feed off of the students of UCF. Some of those businesses, you got Nav Air, you got AT&T, you got different incubators and other UCF programming, and those are in the Research Park, which all the ponds back there, from my understanding, are named after former presidents or associates with the University of Central Florida. Now, to get to Research Park, to show how good of a connection it is to UCF, up you can see the water tower. This light coming up in front of us, if you make a left here, it goes into Research Parkway. So it is also another juncture that can get you outside of the UCF campus. So it's Roads Libra. Going down that road is also where you find the UCF police station, and you got some more dorms. You got some older dorms also up here on the right. So we're going to continue our drive. Literally to the left here, you got the pool. So if you're a UCF student or live on campus, you can go use this pool whenever you want. To the left also, right there, that building, that is the rec center. It's got a rock climbing wall on the inside. You got basketball courts, you got an indoor track, you got gym equipment. I mean, basically, you get to work out, exercise, and socialize. Now, there's another parking garage to our right. And as a student, you get access to that gym for free. So that should be a good thing. You get to go work out and you don't have to worry about paying that extra gym fee. We continue up here to the right. We are going to make a quick right here. So this is a side road that's going to go ahead and take us towards, this is the parking garage that was in front of the rec center. So, but we continue back here, and this is a little parking lot. On the left-hand side, you got dorms again. And these actually might be the original dorms on campus. So as you come back here, you got an area called the Live Oak Room. The Live Oak Room is actually kind of like an event center. So if you're a student on campus, you can reserve these rooms out for little events that you might want to do. See a little more of the campus there to the right. Or if you choose not to, you don't have to. But outside companies also reserve them as well, and they can do trainings there. So it's a good facility, and there's several of them on there. You got some rooms you can reserve, including the student union, which, like I mentioned before, it's at the center of campus. It's going to be tough to get you to. Now, when we come up here to the stop sign, so if we keep going to the light, you're going to hit the main circle. But we're coming to the stop sign because we're going to show you a little bit through these parking lots. So right in front of us, that building is the main administration. That's where the president's office is located. It's also called Milliken Hall. Milliken Hall is named after our first president of UCF. So when UCF was started as Florida Technical University, Charles Milliken was our first president. And that's who that is. Again, the dorms are to the right. Now, coming up on the across from Milliken Hall is the library. So this is where the campus library is. Not the bar across the street off University, but this is the campus library. And you're going to see the reflection pond. The reflection pond is right there with the fountain. The fountain is spewing the water up, which is a good thing. And the reflection pond separates Milliken Hall and the library. Now, one of the cool things about the reflection pond is when we do our homecoming pep rally, so to speak, which for anyone that's a former UCF student, you know what it's called, Spirit Splash, which is one of the greatest traditions that UCF offers, which is a lot of fun. All the students love it. The alumni love it if they ever do come back for it. But basically, it happens right there behind Milliken Hall with the reflection pond. The football team's up there, the band's up there, music's playing, and they do a countdown to where all the students get to run into the reflection pond and celebrate our upcoming football game, celebrate UCF spirit, and they might get a t-shirt or rubber ducky out of it. So, pretty exciting. Now, Milliken Hall brings us right back to near the beginning of campus, which is where we currently are almost at. So, and then we're going to make a quick left here. This road, so not this light, but the light in front of us where we're not going is where that Celeste Hotel is, and it's also the entrance to go back onto University. You can make a left on this road, which will also bring you back to University as well. So we'll do this before we end our traffic-filled tour of the University of Central Florida campus. So, but yeah, so this right back here is going to bring us back around. Now, when we make this left, immediately on the right-hand side is the president's house. So if you become president of UCF, hired by the board of trustees, which are appointed by the state governor, then you get free housing on the right-hand side. It's fenced in, gated, can't really get to it too much. I'm sure it's a beautiful house. He hosts stuff up there and events. And that is where President Cartwright's house is. Now, as we drive in, on the left-hand side, back here, you got different frisbee, disc golf going on. So it's beautiful, nice tree-lined stuff. You also have ropes course. So for team building activities, you got the ropes course back there. And then, oh, there's a scooter. Come back up here, and this light right in front of us is student housing again, apartments. And right here, we're going back onto Alafaya Trail. So that is my tour of the University of Central Florida campus. I hope you enjoy. So if you're a prospective student, you might see a little bit of what campus life could be like. If you're a current student, you're probably like, man, that traffic gets rough. And if you're a former student, an alumni, you're probably either like, oh wow, I miss campus, or man, campus has changed a lot since I graduated. And trust me, since I graduated many moons ago, campus has definitely changed. So, but it's growing, trying to get bigger and better, and trying to be the premier university in the world. So, hope you enjoyed the traffic. Again, this is UCF Campus at the intersection of Alafaya and University. Have yourself a grand old day.